This is Dr. Brooks and Dr. Jon with Spine+Sport, and we are going to be reviewing some strategies and tips for 14.3. So 14.3 is a movement couplet of deadlifts and box jumps. Those two movements are basically modifications of a hip extension. Hip extension taxes the hamstrings, the glutes, and the lumbar spine erector as spine muscle groups. So we're going to be talking about some basically preparatory movements and strategies for getting those muscle groups ready to go. So Dr. Jon here is going to start us off with lumbar spine smash.
Alright, so deadlifts in this workout get heavy pretty fast, and your lumbar spine is going to get pretty smoked. So to get those muscle groups warmed up, we're going to have a lacrosse ball in our box that we're going to use for the workout. We're going to get down on the ground here and get our knees in this 90-90 position. Then you're going to take your lacrosse ball and place it about 1 to 2 inches lateral to your spine, and just let your body just kind of sink in on top of that. And then you want to oscillate back and forth, just like that, about 2 to 3 inches. Try and get 2 minutes of work on each side.
Alright, perfect. So, following the lumbar spine smash, what we want to do is we want to activate those hamstrings and those glutes. For that, I like to do a modified good morning. Okay, so what a person will do, either with the PVC pipe or the barbell, is basically make your way into that hang position and think about scraping the front of the thigh down to the top of the knee, basically to develop tension in those hamstrings. Okay, so I'm actually just above my kneecap here. I'm already feeling that tension in my hamstrings. So what I want to do now is I want to think about glute activation, so squeezing my glutes together to bring myself up into that raised position. So from the front here, once again, hang position, send those hips back, scrape the front of the thighs, find that tension in the hamstrings, squeeze those glutes together and come back up, okay? But about 3 sets of 20 repetitions there is going to get those hamstrings and those glutes ready to roll. Now Dr. Jon's actually going to talk about a muscle group that actually inhibits a person from getting into full hip extension, and that's a tighter constricted hip flexor.
Alright, so to address a tighter constricted hip flexor, our iliopsoas muscle, we're going to use the corner of our foam roller here. It's actually going to be inserted right on the inside of our ilium, so right into this soft spot inside that bone there in your hip. So we're going to put the foam roller on the ground, try and find that soft spot with that corner. Breathe nice and deep so you can get past your abdominal wall and really let that roller make contact with the iliacus muscle there. Then oscillate up and down just about 2 to 3 inches as you breathe deeply to let that roller set in. Do a couple minutes each side and you'll be set.
Alright, so once again, 14.3, we're really taxing those hamstrings, glutes, and low back. Okay, we want to make sure that those 3 muscle groups are turned on, and we want to make sure we're essentially turning off those muscle groups that are going to inhibit you. So, instituting these few things is going to set you up for success with 14.3.